me. Bless His holy name. I pray that you all have an amazing day thus far. You know, I just want to get on here. I just want to thank God, for all His goodness and His mercy toward me, and toward my kids and grandkids and great grandkids, daughter-in-law. All the people that been in my life. I want to thank God for that. Whether negative or positive, I still want to thank God because all other people had a part in the movie, of my life. Some people think they the main character, but they wasn't the main character. God made me the main character in that movie. So I want to laugh because you know what? I'm not going to do this here. I'm not going to call trash and whores and stuff like that. I didn't did that part. And that part is over. Parts of that video, that movie, parts of that movie. So what I wanted to do, just wanted to thank God, and I wanted to laugh, which I've been laughing. I mean, just really laughing. Before I left and after I left, left this relationship, this marriage, with this scammer, love scammer, with this liar and deceitful person. What I wanted to do, I wanted to thank all the women and men that had part in the movie. I want to thank the one that thought she had something, and I'm sure she realized it wasn't what she thought it was. So you don't know a person till you live with them. Once you live with that person, then you find out all the stuff about them. If you like me, I kind of like look past that and, try to see what's good in a person. But I have learned that, and which I'm dropping seeds to help people, that's preparing themselves to go into a relationship. But guys, remember what I always told y'all. Before going into a relationship, make sure you heal from your past trauma. Your trauma as your childhood trauma. Because a lot of people have childhood trauma. And then they go in relationships and that mess spills over in the relationship. What I really wanted to do is encourage you all, even the women and men or whatever involved with Donald. I'm gonna call his name. I don't care about what he think, what he say. That's his name. About how that you all was involved with him, and I'm sure a lot of you all got hurt in the midst of dealing with him because of the deceit and the deception. And I'm not gonna apologize for him because he who he is. And we got to realize we can't mold somebody to be something we want them to be. They who they are. If they're a liar, they're a liar. If they're a thief, they're a thief. If they're a cheater, they're a cheater, And I always said this, and I truly believe that a cheater, you can't stop a cheater from being a cheater. When that's in them, that's in their family line. Because, see, they don't want to break these family line curses. They want to take them down from generation to generation. So it's important that before you all get in a relationship, they get to know, be friends first. Don't jump right in the bed. Learn to be friends, because everybody jump in the bed with somebody. First night date, they in the bed. First time meeting them in the bed. So learn that person. Stop giving yourself away to people that don't mean you no good, because everybody you connect with sexually, those people become a part of you. Whether you stay with them or not, that's still a part of them, because you have taken a fragment of their souls with you. That's why you hear people talk about people with schizophrenia, bipolar. That's because that person that mixed up with so many different people and never got healed, or never got the fragments of those people's souls that they joined together. Because remember, marriage is when man and woman, they join together as one. That's what they was created for. To come together. But yet, it's not all about sex. It's about learning each other, appreciating each other. Anytime if a man come to you and they talk about that woman, vice versa, doesn't matter which way it go. If they talk about the person that they with to you, guess what? They're going to talk about you to somebody else. So, your relationship, Keep it private between y'all. Whatever y'all need to discuss, discuss it between y'all. And a major thing I want to get on here today, and just, I want to thank the people that was involved, in causing the movie, the end of that part of that movie in my life. And I'm grateful for that because I love it when people think I got, I've heard people say, oh, I took that man's wife, or I took that man's husband, and not realizing, if you see a woman or man and you release that person and let them go, believe me, it's a reason for them letting them go. And if this is the bad part about it, is y'all be careful, because you got a lot of people out here love scamming. They're scammers, male and female. There's a whole group of people that are scamming people. And this side of Amelia County, Virginia, Chesapeake, all these areas in Virginia, but extend out all the way overseas and all. And my husband, Donald, is a part of it. And, you're going to hear me say it. I don't know if we're married now or not, because I never got a divorce paper. But, people so slick now, they into the judicial system. They involved in the game, different things they do that's illegal. And they have a way of getting around the system, because you have people in the system, lawyers and judge and clerk of court and all these different people that are corrupt in the court system. So my question today, even to say, thank you all. Thank you all for being a part of that movie. Because if it wasn't from y'all, I couldn't write my book. If it wasn't from y'all, I couldn't tell my story. So I want to just say thank you for your part you played. Because that right there was a stepping stone to where I'm going next. So I just wanted to get on here and say thank you for your part you played. And I would put my little kitten up here, but oh my goodness, he might put himself up here. Stop. He's trying to get on top. He's trying to distract me. But he my baby. Yeah, that's true. You are, number one, you said I love scammers. Jesus told me to love my enemies, for they like your understanding. No, your enemies do no understanding. Because we know right and wrong. We know it's wrong to take somebody else, take things that don't belong to us. A child know that. We teach children that young. You don't touch other things, because I taught my kids that. I'm 67 years old. And kids do not touch nothing that don't belong to them, and they follow that. They all grown now, because that's what I taught them. I taught them right from wrong. I taught them you don't steal. I could lay down anything in my house. My kids will not touch it. I could lay down money. They're not going to touch it, because I taught them not to do that. But inside us, because the way God created us, we know wrong. We know what we're doing is wrong, and we know what we're doing is right. We can't take the word of God and twist it to mean and understand what we want to say. I don't love a scammer, because number one, why would I love somebody that's scamming and hurting other people? No, I don't love that, because it's wrong. I don't love wrong. I believe in doing what's right. I taught my children to do what's right. I lived in that life. I didn't teach them just by mouth. I did it myself. What I taught them, they saw me do. I was an example to that. So I don't love scammers, because people are being hurt by scammers. You got elderly people that's being scammed by people. I don't like them. God hate our sin. That's sin. So for you to get on here and say that, I love scammers, because you told me to love my enemies. Okay, you said Jesus said love your enemies. Well, if Jesus had enemies and he destroyed his enemies, God destroyed enemies. So we got to have an understanding when God said love our enemies, what that really means. Because you got to understand what an enemy really is. Not something we're going to take the Bible and we're going to play with the Bible. We're going to throw the Bible out here, but we're not going to live it ourselves. So we have to be careful with that. Okay? So, I just wanted to say, be careful what you put out here, especially when you're using Jesus or God or whatever. It's about a life that we live, not about just talking. It's a life we live. What I'm talking about, what I'm chatting about, I'm just thanking the people that was part of my story, that was part of, my movie that I'm writing, about telling them thank you for being a part of my life, whether they negative or whether they're positive, but telling them thank you, because without them, I couldn't write my story. Without them, I couldn't speak my truth. This is what I'm talking about. And then also I'm telling people, before they date, before they get in a relationship, to deal with their childhood trauma, because a lot of people been traumatized as a child. So this is what I'm talking about. Heal yourself. Get on a date. You don't have a relationship. Like I said, don't jump in the bed with people because you meet them. Get to know people. Become friends. Do things together. Enjoy each other. This is what I'm talking about. And I'm just thanking the people, that's saying different things. Because I know a lot of times people don't understand, because people don't take time and talk to people. Because a lot of people that's in the generation now that don't know a lot of things that they should know, because they're not. So I would just want to get on here and thank the people that was part of the movie, part of my book. Not books, but books. Lots of books. From all that I've been through, all the things that I learned, where I can use that to help other people, to teach people what love really is. Not us talking about love, but love is presented every day. You love every day, regardless whether people be evil towards you. Don't have to be evil towards them, because I've had told people different things that I went through, and people would tell me, well, if they me like that, I'll put something in their food, stuff like that. No, that's not me. I'm not that kind of person. God is a God of love, but He also a God of wrath. Remember that. When we say love our scammers, remember God is a God of wrath. So, if God destroyed their enemies, so we have to be careful what we say, guys. But I just want to say I thank you all for joining me, for putting something on here, comment. And I thank y'all for that. Whether negative or positive, thank you all. I thank you all for joining. I thank you all just for stopping by. Even if you listen a little while, that's okay too. But I want to say thank you for doing that. And I just want to encourage you all, if you don't mind, subscribe to my channel. Because at some point in my channel, I'm going to get my son. I have a 22-year-old autistic son, and I'm going to get him on my channel also to talk about his experience. So I think people need to know what he's been through with his own father, and the different things that he's been through. So I think that would encourage a lot of people, to... A lot of times people don't understand what's going on in people's homes, because a lot of times people don't talk about their own suffering in their own home, or vice versa. Especially children, because people, especially autistic kids, people feel like they can't talk or they can't communicate, but they're very smart. He's 22. And I thank God for what He's doing in his life, or how God is using him. We don't run up in a church pretending like, like a lot of people just pretend. We don't do that. We pray at home. And we do whatever God tells us to do. But thank you all. I really want to say, honest from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to my videos. I just ask you all to go back and watch them all the way through, all of them, because I would really appreciate it. And, and I pray the blessings of God upon you, that God would open the eyes of your understanding, that God would teach you the right way, His way, not man's way, but God's way. And to just say thank you again, just for joining. Thank you all for commenting. Because it's all about God. It's all about my story, And the thing about it is, to me, even if you all come in here put negative comments, that don't make no difference, because I've been what they call GameStop, been bullied, all this stuff, But the part about it is that the people that doing these things, that God is judging these people to come, play games. You also used to doing this stuff, but y'all don't realize. My channel is not one to play with, because I don't play when it comes to God. So, this is just a warning. So when things begin to happen in your life, remember this channel, because this is not the channel to play with, to play on. So you come on this channel, be careful. This is just a warning from God, because he told me to warn you all that when y'all get on here, y'all want to play these games because y'all was paid to get on here to gain stock and all this other stuff, to be ignorant, because you all are ignorant. But I want you all to know this. You will not get away with it. So it's best for you all not to get on this channel playing, because everything on this channel is being recorded. Everything on this channel is being documented. So when you get on here, they can track you back to wherever you at. So you be careful. This is for your sake, because you're going to end up on a court case you didn't have no business being on from the beginning, because you chose to take money to be foolish. But you all have a nice day. And, I just pray something to encourage you, to keep you having a beautiful and wonderful day